Looks like I have a whole full head of hair,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I think about how much hair I'd have if I had all the hair that was on my head. Like if it was that thick. Aw, don't start it, Benny. Just stay laying there, man. Please. They're chiming in. There goes Luna. Full moon. She feels the full moon. She feels it in her bits. She feels that full moon in Cancer. Good dogs? Yeah? Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Hilk empath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. Today's a pretty okay day. I did go in town. It was freezing. I had to go into town freaking twice, man. I said, Mom, what do you want to eat today? What sounds good? I knew it was going to be super cold, so I was like, you want some chicken noodle soup? And she's like, yeah, that sounds good. So I went in town to get carrots, celery, all that stuff, chicken, noodles, only to come home to realize that I did not have any bay leaves. And that pretty much makes the taste, the flavor, right? It adds a lot to chicken noodle soup. So go back into town to get the bay leaves. But it was nice to see people because I see people when I go out at different times of the day. I see different people, and it was just so cold, man. So cold. Benny, get there. See, this is the thing. This is how I am in life. I just want everybody to be comfortable so I can be comfortable in life because when they're not comfortable, I'm just like, just get there. Just get to your comfy spot. Come on. Get there. Get to your comfy spot. So that's why I called today's talk So Cold. It's cold like yesterday, you know? Blistery, just relentless, like that sun's a liar, man. Oh, anyway. I was thinking a little while ago about tribal, like how our ancestors lived, you know? When there was something wrong with somebody, they had like they were just troubled or something like that, how everybody'd come together and help heal them, you know? And how like, you know, like I don't know, there's a lot of parents out there that probably should never have kids, but you need the community to help guide them, you know, in the right direction. So hopefully they can break the cycles and they're, you know, to stop doing the things that have been done before them. We can learn different behaviors, right? We don't have to do things. So I get so I'm not a big old fan of tradition. Go on, get there. Get there. Good dog, good girl. Hi, prettiest lady. What are you doing out here? What you doing here? Come out to say hi, pretty girl Luna. And how society got away with that. It's like it says it evolved into just what, you know, take care of mine. This is my, you know, and people have to look like me and be related to me in order for me to care about, you know. I've seen a lot of that on my social media feeds this holiday season. Where like charity, you know, like the people are just too busy rewarding themselves, making themselves feel better. Pets in circles for the last 3 years, you know. Meanwhile, and there's a lot of people on the street. There's more and more and more people on the street. Not everybody are freaking whacked out on drugs and alcohol and stuff like that. There's a lot of people that are just like, you know, they're a paycheck. They're, you know, what do I do? Do I keep that car going? They got hard choices to make and they don't got no support system. But you know, if people looked at this world as a tribe, try taking care of people, but the withholder wants to withhold. When people feel slighted and cheated, oftentimes they want to hinder somebody else, you know, or maybe they have plenty, maybe they have more than enough, and they still what's mine is yours, and what's yours is mine. There's just a darkness that's coming over this land, a greediness, you know, and a lot of people are going to choke on their blessings. They really are. It's hard life lessons to learn. You know, nothing stays up. energy, what goes up must comes down. Mm. I'm seeing a lot of interesting things on social media that's coming across my feed about in regard to like the just how new cars and new vehicles are complete trash. They're junk. I know people that drive them crazy too, you know. That people are really heavy-footed. People don't exactly drive vehicles the way they're designed to drive, but I don't know. It's taken me a lot of years. I was a heavy foot. I like to race around and, you know, go fast and we do all that stuff. You know what I come to the realization as I got older is that stuff, that behaving like that not only puts my own life at risk, but it could put other people's lives at risk too. And what I found come to find out is life is pretty valuable, you know, and it's pretty fragile. And a lot of people think that they're immortal and invincible and they ain't ever gonna die, and they're figuring out real quick that ain't the truth, you know. Maybe they should bring physics back in school. Come on, Benny. Good boy. Come on. Good dog. Come over here. Come around. You can't jump up from that way. Come on. I know you're a long dog. Good boy, long dog. Come here, Benny. Come on, boy. Good dog. There you go. Good dog. Good boy. So, we washed Mom's hair today. I've been putting it off for so long. And finally, I was just like, I can't, I gotta do it. So I freaking got real toasty warm in the bathroom. Turned on the little electric heater, got hot in there. And all she does, she's a trooper, man. Ma, you're such a trooper, you know that? You're a tough old bird. Yeah? She just freaking, I take off her sweater. And she hangs onto the side rail that's in the tub there. And she just leans over. I changed her shoes. I take off her slippers and put on her regular shoes in case her shoes get wet. And she just bends over, and I use the shower nozzle thing to freaking wash it real good. And the shampoo I got is it's shampoo and conditioner. It's like the old, you know what it's like, Ma? It's like the old Head and Shoulders, but it's that tail and mane shampoo. But so washed it real good, and I made the mistake, and if ever you take care of your dear sweet mom or even your dear old dad, and when they get old, people, their skin gets so sensitive, it gets super thin. I made the mistake about, I don't know, I guess, when was that? Was it since we moved in here? Has it been a year since? I tried to get that dry, because she doesn't like getting wet because of her head injury. She doesn't like the water on her head, right? That sensation, it's not comfortable for you, is my understanding. So that's why it's like, okay, time to wash hair. But it was like we were way overdue. But I always feel so good the day we do it, because now we don't got to do it for a little while. But don't use that spray stuff, that dry stuff on sensitive skin. Because we're still dealing with the aftermath of what happens. That stuff is it's nasty. I was told today to use baby powder, that'll degrease the hair. So, anyway. Other things, what else happened oh yeah, it's I saw that I don't see the neighbors much in the winter. It's so cold, right? They don't come out very often, and they were out like piling wood and stuff today. They were telling where I live, it's like brother and his wife and kids, and then they live in the back house, the main house, and then I live like in the old auntie's trailer. Used to live here, and then there's a duplex up front where brother lives on the other side. He's fun. And then sister lives on my side of the duplex. And brother, they were piling wood back there, and I came home and they were out, so I went up to just say greetings, salutations from, just check in, say hi, stuff kind of thing, just connect for a moment. Good girl, Lou. And they're like, yeah. I was like, man, it's so cold, man. It's mean cold. And he's but they're, of course, they're lifting weight or lifting wood, so they weren't cold, right? And so they were talking about how fucking brother in front the other day, he said, yeah, I went up to check in on him the other day, and he had freaking he broke a chair down. He broke a chair down and put it in the fire, because he don't got a job. He don't got a job. He don't. There's so many people on the planet. That's what people don't understand. It's like they gotta. How many people have the belief that the reality that they live in, if they're living in a comfortable environment, that like everybody's okay? Or they don't even care about but they're just only, as long as their creature comforts are all met, that's all that matters, right? We're social and communal freaking, I mean, we're all, it's like if somebody falls down the street, when I was growing up, somebody tripped and fell, you help pick them up, right? You don't stand there and point at them. You don't laugh at them. You don't record them and make a meme out of it and put it, and let's like try to embarrass people. I mean, society has really gone off its rails. I was talking to my friend today about how that people often say how cruel kids are. I say, you think kids are cruel? I said, think about all the cruel kids that kept in that practice, and now they're just perfected cruelty as adults. There's a lot of those folks. People could be cool and they're just not, and they can do it in so many areas. I live in a tourist town. I like travelers. I'm not a fan of tourists. There is a difference. And I'll be darned if I'm not driving through town and come across pedestrians. They'll be walking, but as soon as they get to the freaking crosswalk, they go half speed. Like they slow down. Like, you were walking quicker can you just walk across the street as quick as you walk? But people have that mentality. Oh, you have to wait for me. I have the right of way. It's like they're the same people that dawdle across the street. They're the same people that don't put their cart away at the grocery store, right? Yeah? It's like they don't got no ambition. They don't got no fire in the belly to freaking maybe make something easier for somebody else. And so many people live like that. More than half of the time, it's like we're supposed to be ascending, all these spiritual beings. I see a lot of freaking people that get paid for stuff, and then when people really need them in the crunch, the holidays, when a lot of people are really lonely and stuff, you can't find these people because they're off celebrating holidays that are nonsense, but they're perpetuating the story when it serves them. False for profits is what I call them. They're everywhere. I was listening. I've listened to it probably 3 times now. It's probably my 3rd or 4th time. It's a book. It's a book by Russell Wallace. It is kind of cool. Where'd that notification go? My comment got a heart from Brian Scott, Ma. He's got a big tube. That guy's got a huge, ginormous tube. But this book on tape called The Secret of Light by Walter Russell. And it's the audio book that this dude writes. And he talks about the sun and he was thinking of like where the sun gets its energy, right? I actually have a theory on that, right? And these theories, I don't read a lot because I don't want it to mess up with my own imagination, because I have my own imagination. And when I need something verified to be true or not, then that's where I meet somebody that's like-minded, that thinks like me, and then they make a statement, or provide evidence to support what I believe. Sometimes it goes the other way, Sometimes I get information disproving things that I believe for a long time. I mean, I don't know what side. I can honestly say I do not know what shape the planet is. I don't. I don't really care what shape of the planet is. I care about how people are treated on it. And when there's so much, like, people down there playing in Antarctica, people are just playing, just play, 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 play. Like, who does all the work to support? You got your support staff. Why can't we make sure everybody has that, right? Nobody should, if somebody's sick on the earth, nobody should have to pay to get better. It should just be a human right. But they made businesses out of this stuff, and then people got greedy and gross. Then I get to see them on my reels. This one lady comes across. She's some sort of, I think she might be I don't know what kind of doctor she has. But she's a doctor. She has big quirky glasses. And she freaking takes you into her garage and does a cold start. It's not a cold start. It's in a warm garage. The garage is warm. It's not. But she has a fucking Lamborghini and a fucking bullshit truck. And I'm like, dude, you're why fucking people can't go to the doctor. We can't afford to live to pay your fucking overhead, lady. And this is the stuff that's not okay. And people think it's cute. And they like her. And they think she's funny. And I think it's fucking gross. And one day you're going to choke on your blessings too. Because people like that think that them going to work and getting paid $400,000, $500,000 a year, that is how, I'm living in service. I'm giving back. No, you get paid to do a fucking job. That's not living in service is the stuff you do that you don't get paid for. The time that you spend that you don't get back. But you're making somebody else's life better without getting a paycheck for it. That service work, people get it twisted. They talk about, these astrologers, Leo Cub, freaking, they're all, even the, we're providing a service. No, you're sometimes you do free videos to bait the people to go get the paid content. So you can buy your freaking, pay for your stupid freaking Mercedes, and you're living a lifestyle that your ego just says, I deserve all this. And you really don't. Nobody deserves to frickin' live a grandiose lifestyle like that. I mean, people think like that, like it says you're a good person because you got expensive stuff. I mean, it was like we got all these grown-ups running around with the mentality of frickin' 15-year-old brains. And society as a whole has to rise above that. It really does, I mean, at least sometimes. There's 365 days out of the year. You think that sometimes some people could, like, inconvenience themselves, like, go mow the lawn for an old lady, clean it, maybe gather up some buddies, more hands, less work, stuff like that. Or maybe once a month do that for somebody else. You know how much stuff could get cleaned up? But instead, people would rather freaking stuff their faces, sit on their couch, and watch freaking balls go back and forth on courts, on basketball courts, and around baseball diamonds, and around football It's just so mind-numbing. The distraction. So I'm going to take the rest of that. I'm going to put my words where my heart is, and I'm going to take I made a big old huge pot of chicken noodle soup. I'm going to keep some for me and Mom. So I got these I got some really rad knives for winter solstice. And I I mean, I understand the importance of having proper tools for the right job. That's something that was really driven home to me in the Air Force. I just think that everybody should have the same opportunity, right? But having the right knives, oh my god, I just want to cook for the whole world. So I'm gonna take this. I got my Tupperware, so I'm gonna load up some Tupperware, and they feed people on Wednesdays down at the park, and so I'm gonna go down there and give them my chicken noodle soup to add to, because more and more people are showing up. I guess during the summer they feed like 50, 60, and then like in the winter it's down to 20, 30. But when that's a warm meal, healthy meal, made with love, that just seems to me like it's just a no-brainer. And then I think all the people in this community, it's like they run their restaurants and their prices are they're a little on the high end. The food's mediocre. There's some places that's pretty good, but I mean, still, every place I've ever lived in, it's just that place. Like, I grew up in Redding, California. It's just Redding. I lived in Omaha, Nebraska. It's Omaha. I live in Salem, Oregon, another place that's just a place. Yet people are from places and they act like these places are their friends. It's so silly, yet they don't treat their places very good, right? Like, the condition of the place isn't very good, but don't talk about the place, because the place needs defense. It's so silly, man. The stuff that it's like there's people starving in the street, but let's split hairs over this silly stuff. Goofy, huh? So I'm gonna take this stuff down and I'm gonna take it down and do that tomorrow. And yeah, it was funny. I had to go. I had to eat my words today. I could. Well, I don't think they have basil at that little store, but I was still like, somebody said just go to that little market. I said I'm not going to that little market. I will not. I can't. Won't do it. Rather drive 20 miles round trip, go get some basil leaf. But it was worth it because you go to the Mexican part, the Mexican food part, the spices, where they have all the chilies and stuff like that. And you can get like a whole little sack of bay leaves there for $1.59 instead of the McCormick where they have like 6 or 7 bay leaves in a little canister for $3.99 or something like that. That's how they get you. They get you in a lot of ways, don't they, Ma? Rascals. Hey, Kev, man, what's up? Yeah. You know what happens when you get all your can, I noticed? Like, every movie, every, like, bad guy in all the movies I ever saw, they always died the worst death. It's like they're cocky, living these big, even and I've seen it a lot of times, like, guys machismos, and even in women too, that have just used, like, I don't know, their dominance to push through and stuff like that, like bully people. If they get a chance to get old, a lot of times they'll get that karma back to them. Like, people will treat them like an old person. And when you get older, you don't feel like you're old. You feel like, your body's still, your spirit's still in the 30s and 40s, but shoot, it takes longer to get up for getting off the ground and stuff like that. I'm actually in pretty good shape. I got so much information from all the arthritis and stuff like that. But if I gotta move real fast, quick, I can. I can't do it for long periods of time, but anyway, what else happened today? Yeah, I was telling the people at the park yesterday how my vision and how I want to have some property it's like a campground, but people can sleep in tents. They have tent platforms that are off the ground, so they're out of the mud. You know, and then they have, if you want, or they have trailer pads, or there's always like cheap trailers in the community. I could get those in like have people help me, or I could do it myself, whichever. It's more fun to do projects with other people. I found that's why I just want to do stuff with other people, but redo these trailers and stuff so people can come and stay or bring their own trailer or whatever. But I want to have a place for travelers, not for tourists. There's people that have plenty of money that they can piss away with their freaking $120,000 freaking four slide outs and their freaking $90,000 trucks and all this stuff. And none of this stuff they worked particularly hard for. You know, it's not like people chop wood, haul water to get this stuff. A lot of times people are just handed down, and especially in this society with all the the hand me downs. Like even the muskrat, man, that guy, he came from fortune. Like, why don't people get that? Like the batteries that he makes, his father used to sell minerals, right, out of mines that now gets mines for his batteries. And I like getting all of those. That's one thing I appreciate. Thanks, algorithm, for that. Is getting those with that, like, people sharing all of their woes that they have from their electric vehicles. They're not good in cold. Batteries don't work in the cold. Electronics do not like the cold. Electronics hate the cold. Anyway, I started to talk about my comment. And this is what I wrote about the sun. Because he he was reading the book and they were talking about what powers the sun. And I said, sometimes I wonder if we, the human spirit, makes the sun burn. Our sun sign motivates behaviors, fuels its gassy flares, as above, so below, and whatnot. Thank you, Aheyoka. So I like listening to that stuff, because I listen to it and then I get my own beliefs. Like he was talking about weight and how the scientific methods that were and the laws that are attached to weight, and I'm thinking about how that applies to people. You know it? Like, let me see if I can find one. The gravitational force acting on the object. Others define weight as a scalar quantity. The magnitude of Okay, let's see if I'm going to even find it. Let me try it in the mass. In terms of mass. In modern scientific usage, weight and mass are this is just from Wikipedia, are fundamentally different quantities. Mass is an intrinsic property of matter, whereas weight is a force that results in the action of gravity on matter. It measures how strongly the force of gravity pulls on the matter. The distinction between mass and weight is unimportant for this is not what I'm looking for. Like, they say this is all made up stuff as far as I'm concerned. There's no way they can know. They guess this stuff. Gross weight is a term that is generally found in commerce or weight trade application. It refers to the total weight of a product and its packaging. Conversely, net weight refers to the weight of the product alone. So this is, I think of that in terms of people that have like reconciled the fact that they're a spiritual being having a human experience. And I look at that is net weight. That's what they reach after they realize, you know what? Having all this accessories and all this external stuff to manipulate people and trying to create a person that I want them to think I am when I'm somebody entirely different inside. That stuff ain't gonna fly anymore. You're not, there's too many people that are becoming telepathic. There's too many people that are stepping into their gifts. And they're not gonna freaking squander those gifts by ignoring that they don't have them. Right? So things are about to get real interesting this next year. Super, super interesting. A lot of people are gonna have a change of hearts. Change of heart up, change of heart down. From, a lot of more people are going to come to their own from being on the bottom and lacking abundance for so many years. And so how quick do people forget when they come into that stuff, right? They forget so quick. It's every man for himself unless somebody that man needs help, right? But when it comes to passing that paying it forward, and help and being a service to others, no, people just can't be bothered. So, okay, don't be bothered. We're just going to see the trajectory because more people are going to need help. And not because of anything they did, just because they were born on this planet at this time, and just because they were born in a region that we, America, went over and bombed just for, our own personal freaking motives. Not that there's any, real reason to do that. There's no reason to ever kill people. It's wrong. It's a sin. You don't do it. That's all. Yeah, there's a lot of freaking whack jobs that deem themselves so powerful. They're just gonna take out wherever. If that's the case, there's a lot of little tiny weasels that might have to look over their shoulder. So they live by the sword, die by the sword. Live by the gun, die by the gun. Live a fearful life, die a fearful life. I like to think that every little random act of kindness I do is it just adds to my protection and my shield of God, my armor of God. Huh. Yep. That's about all I got for now.